And the blessings and the blessings are starting.
The
The
blessings.
blessings are
This
starting.
is so exciting.
Yes, it's always exciting. So, infinite blessings, obviously, because we're here in a space full of blessings, ready for a little magic to happen. And the magic is beginning, obviously, with what we create in the kingdom of our minds. So, the Zen Den is all about finding a sanctuary. And where do we find the first sanctuary? Well, the sanctuary begins with one thought, one breath, one mindful moment at a time. And how do we start creating a space where we're not looking externally out
Mhm.
there, we're creating what we want internally?
Exactly.
And probably the first step of that is holistic wellness. And holistic health and wellness is the most vital aspect of finding balance, finding connection, finding stability, serenity. And I'm so grateful because Nikki Levine of Nikki Wellness and I, Spoken Word Yoga, have collaborated for a magical, what's her seasonal bundle of different holistic offerings that she is creating, not just for women, not just for kids, not just for just moms and corporate entities of health and wellness, but every individual who is looking for tips and tricks, techniques to be able to enhance their overall health and wellness. She's created a magical program that literally is life changing starting in the fall. Tell us a little bit about your Nikki
Yes.
Wellness program.
Well, first of all, I can't thank you enough for allowing me into your sacred space of your Zen Den
The
here.
Zen Den.
It's like so cozy. I just want to like cozy up. But I want to take a second also just to explain how we met because to me this is like the collab of like the collabs. I'm super, super honored and excited that you're joining me. But yes, I mean, I don't know about you. Well, let me start with how we met actually. So I met you years ago at a gym when I probably needed you the most. And I don't even
Love how
know if
that
you
works.
realize how much and deeply you affected me. I know I'm
Mm.
getting like a little choked up about it, but I was lost at the time, definitely a little lost. And I don't know, your energy was amazing. And I used to
Mm.
joke like you could read the dictionary and it just sounded like the Lion King. It was like just so like powerful and magical. And that hour I would spend in your class was just it stuck with me all week. And I would ask you all, you would ask me all the time, how are you? And I'd be like, well, I'm okay. You know, I would give you, and then I'd say, how are you? Fantastic. Or what did you used to say?
Spectacular.
Spectacular. And I
Nothing
was like,
short
is
of
she just
spectacular.
full of it or does she really feel spectacular? And now I get it because I was always looking out there,
Yeah.
always looking out there for my happiness. And then I found a cute little meme of like a stick figure drawing. Have you seen it? There's two, and one's holding a jar and it says happiness, and the other guy says, "I've been looking everywhere for that. Where did you find it?" And they
Oh,
said, I found it within myself, and it
yeah.
took me like a very, very long time to learn that lesson. So after meeting you, and then I read a book called "You Are a Badass," which everybody has heard me talk about ad nauseum, but I mention it because one little thing can change your life. One little thing can set you in a new direction. And
Mm-hmm.
that book was also one of those things for me. And the messaging that I picked up from it, and just the thoughts that I started to have because of it. So, this program, NW365, which is Nikki Wellness 365 days of the year. And it's going to be a quarterly bundle every season of the year. And I'll get into that in a second. But I came up with that because there's so many different aspects to our wellness. It's not just about the food you put into your mouth or how you move your body at the gym. It's about everything. It's about mindset and it's about
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts and it's about what the time for joy that you take for yourself. And all of those things that end up filling up your cup so that you can show up differently out
Yeah.
there to everybody else that you touch. So, this program, I guess, has been in the making ever since my journey started, unbeknownst to me. But I really started working on it definitely over a year and a half ago. And it started with just a couple little ideas. And I remember talking to my oldest daughter about it. And she's like, "Yeah, I think that sounds really cool, Mom." And we came up with just a few bullet points. But through time, and really, this has become my fourth baby, I've just been really pouring my heart and
Mm.
soul into all these things. And you popped in my mind for a collab because we're going to get into stress management as being part of it. And I wanted to offer meditations, guided meditations,
Mm-hmm.
and breathing exercises. And I know nobody wants to hear me with my Chicago twang leading anybody on any kind of, meditation, guided meditation, not so relaxing. But then you came in my mind as like the lioness, the Lion King. And I was like, I have to contact you. And you so graciously have done this with me.
Well, and it's perfect because it's entirely in alignment with what I've been talking about all year, which is this global movement for self improvement and getting into a space where we're able to identify all of the areas of our life that need a little extra balance, a little boost, a little extra, whatever it is to invigorate your soul, your spirit, and get you in a
Yes.
space where you're actively, intentionally, and deliberately creating the energy that you want in your life. And I feel like we all individually are working in this space. I mean, especially over the last 2 years, I feel like everyone has had this kind of space where, you thought you were in a little groove and things shifted around us. And we've all had to adjust in major ways.
Yes.
And whether it's adjusting to loss, whether it's adjusting to change in routine, whether it's adjusting to just an entire change of mindset of how we show up in the world with regard to whether it's your job, whether it's your just daily tasks, whether it's just going to the grocery store. I mean, everything has shifted. And
It's
when
so true.
everything around us shifts, how do we then internalize that? And then how are we able to ride that energy? It's like, when they talk about the waves and the ups and downs, it's
Hmm.
like, well, where do we find that balance where we feel like, regardless of what's going on in the external space, we're still able to find, a little equilibrium somewhere? And that's where this holistic wellness program, and that's why it resonated so much with me when you explained it. And I knew that already what we talk about in yoga and meditation and mindfulness practices is in perfect alignment with this. And especially the idea of being proactive about stress management. So it's not in a
Yes.
space where we're just responding to stress when it comes, but we've already created a space where we're not thrown off by these waves and these ups and downs because we already are able to create this balance, whether it's through one breath at a time, visualizations, mindfulness.
Hmm.
And obviously the journal practice is a huge part of that, and the mindful moments journal is a big deal, but you have that incorporated into the
I do, but I do want you to
suggestions.
talk a little bit about that also.
Well, that's it's such a big part of being intentional, being deliberate, is writing things down, making it tangible, making it so that whether you're speaking it or you're writing it, it starts with this creating a belief system for yourself that
Exactly.
is the foundation. So the idea of that, we have a vision of where we want to go, who we want to be, how we want to show up in the world. But what are we doing about it consistently, deliberately, intentionally in order to manifest that as a regular part of our life? So it's not just something you visualize at some point in the future. It's something you're actively participating in now. And that, active participation is this thing called life. So we got to get into
Exactly,
it.
exactly. And I think a lot of people just sit by wishing or hoping and, wanting things to be different, but they don't have the actual bite-sized little pieces or steps that help them to make that move.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's overwhelming. And I can speak firsthand that I've been in my own skin and been extremely uncomfortable, and overwhelmed and not knowing what to do next or where to go next as far as food or exercise or soul food or my mindset or my evolution and all
Hmm.
those things, you need to be really mindful about, but like you said, on purpose, with purpose. And I could tell you, even in the morning, when I wake up in the mornings that I stop before I just jump right out of bed and I actually think, what are the things I want to accomplish today? And I give myself a few minutes before I even spring into action.
Yeah.
I think about the things that are, this is what I want to accomplish. This is the kind of day that I want to have. And not that they all go amazingly well, but
Hmm.
it seems to have helped so much than just
Yeah.
reacting, to
Yeah.
be proactive in your life.
And that's why I say even starting with a positive intention. And that's the beautiful part of journaling, is that you can start to write down, a few things. And the Mindful Moments Journal, 365 Mindful Moments Journal, available on Amazon, is so perfect because it's a short journal practice. So literally it's one page. You don't feel stressed. You get one little positive intention that gives you a little motivation about what to write. And you have a short page so you don't feel like you have to write a book about yourself. And then I think being able to incorporate, whether it's just 2 minutes in mindful meditation, breathing. So, what we've
Mhm.
offered, Spoken Word Yoga has offered for the Nikki Wellness Program, is a perfect pranayama breathing technique that you can incorporate very quick, 7 minutes of breath work. Just give yourself a space where you're really tuning into the breath, which allows you to be immediately present, immediately intentional. The breath changes your emotional space, your physiological space. So, getting into that awareness of the power of that deep inhale and exhale, and what that can do to change the rhythm of your heart, the rhythm of your your thoughts, and put you in a space where you really feel balanced. And then perfect to really complement that is a 21-minute grounding meditation. And the grounding meditation is really just a sequence of visualization. So anytime you feel like, things are a little erratic, you feel a little anxious, you feel depressed, you feel anywhere that's on that like wave scale of ups or downs, the grounding meditation is really good just to level you completely out. And especially for people who find meditation a little, something like, oh, I'm not sure I can sit in stillness, or I'm not sure I can clear my mind. The beautiful thing about having a guided meditation is that you're not you're not feeling like you're forcing yourself to be in stillness and silence. You kind of have somebody walking you through it. And
I was going to say, for
yeah.
those people, because I used to be that way too, that if you said I have a 21-minute meditation, I would be like, wait,
21
what?
minutes.
Yeah, I can't do anything for 21 minutes. But like, just explain, like, it's kind of like a little journey. And if your mind starts to wander, like, I have to go to the grocery store, I have to, blah, 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 you can get it back.
Yeah, the guidance brings you back into that space. And what I always try to explain about meditation is that it's not the absence of thought. It's the ability to focus on one thing consistently. So it's the ability to create a space in your mind where where all of our thoughts drift. I mean, there's not, you can have somebody who's been meditating for 20 or 30 years, and you'll talk to them and say, well, how do you able to stay and sit for 2 hours, 3 hours? Well, it's the ability to acknowledge when the thought starts to drift and then rein it back in and bring it back into your focus point. And that's where the guidance comes in to help. It's this constant reminder that you're on a journey, and your mind is going to drift, it's going to wander, it's going to shift. But then your ability to come and bring it back into one focus and steady space, that's what allows you to deal with all of the things that happen in the world and life that you have no control over. There's always change. Get used to it. It's the ability to ride that wave of change in a way that helps you to remain calm, allows you to move out of that space where you're fearful of the unknown, but you're constantly and consistently creating the reality that you want right now. And then that gives you a space of gratitude, a space of awareness that every breath is really the opportunity for a new transformation, a new beginning. And that leaves you a little more excited about the unknowns. So
no, that's true. Because a lot of
eliminates that
people are
fear.
afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
It's a scary place. But I love what you just said, because I talk to clients all the time and I'm like, okay, this shit's going to hit the fan again. Like, we know this. So why we're surprised when it happens? I don't know. Can I say that in your little Zen space?
I don't
feel like it's a little.
No, it's totally fine. It's a second.
Well, when it hits the fan, we have to be able to roll with the punches and to be able to turn and pivot and to be able to remain somewhat calm, because we're kind of fooling ourselves if we think it's all unicorns and rainbows. And, once we get to that place of, oh, everything feels in control now.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Not to be Debbie Downer, but we know it's going to happen again. So, what tools in your toolbox can you keep to keep you, like you said, riding that wave, but being able to do that gives you that space of being able to be grateful and mindful and present. And then you're not worrying about the future, and you're not stressing about, the past and all of that. It keeps you in the moment. And so your meditations and your breathing exercises are part of, and, I use the words intentions in my program too, because I really want to be intentional about the four, I don't want to say pillars, but the four intentions of NW365, which is fuel, which is the obvious one to a lot of people. It's, I'm going to give recipes. Everything's geared toward every season. So fall is next Wednesday, September 22nd. That's why we chose next Wednesday to launch our program. So first day of fall. So all things fall. So whether it's apples or pumpkins or sweet potatoes or root vegetables, anything that would be in season is going to be featured in fall. So I have over 50 recipes that will be included, that include all sorts of yummy things like that. I will have a couple of how-to videos also.
Wow.
And then there's also going to be a list of all produce that's in season, because it's really important to eat a variety of foods and to eat in season what Mother Nature has given us in that season. Because I don't know, if you think about buying, summertime produce in the middle of winter, it either looks terrible or it's double the price. There's a reason why we're supposed to eat what's in season when it's in season. So that's why this is also seasonal as far as that goes. But then you fall into the evolve intention, which is, very intentional that you're part of the Evolve Intention. And that's where we have the breathing exercises and the guided meditations and those sorts of things, to really help us with our mindset, and also some journal prompts also that are geared towards the fall. And I know that a lot of people feel a lot of stress at this time of year because we're back to school. People are back in their offices, possibly after COVID or during COVID. I know that's also a huge stressor. Health, everybody's health is on their mind. So,
well, family gatherings that, our family is placed into our space to kind of teach us more about ourselves, but we don't choose our family.
So true.
So much of, what goes on during the holidays, I think people, things are brought up from the past. People tap into things from childhood. People are tapping into whatever, angst might be present. And then obviously also that need to please that I think, especially as women, we have this space where, we want to make sure that everything is set up, everything is right. And then, we have people coming in and into our space that aren't normally there, and giving us that space where, we know that change and flux is happening. So what can we do to create the balance in the midst of that?
I love that. You keep saying balance. Do you know I'm a Libra?
Yeah, that's full. And Virgo energy, please. We want everything particularly placed exactly as it should be, and the timing should all be right. So it's all in that, in that space of just understanding that, the balance is what we're able to create for ourselves within. And once you kind of hold on to the reins and know that you're the creator of your reality, you're the creator of your energy, you're creator of the emotion that you assign to every experience of your life. So allowing yourself to be in that space where you really are taking control of your self-improvement, your self-awareness, your happiness internally, that all creates what exists in your life externally. So finding that, whether it's in and having somebody hold you accountable for it is a huge thing. So I think that's where having these seasonal bundles, these seasonal packages and programs in, where that you're going to be held accountable for what you're creating for yourself. There's somebody who's checking in on you. You have a Facebook group where people can get together and talk about their experiences and kind of exchange tips and tricks that are working for them, suggestions. You feel like you're supported. Having a group setting for that is huge. And especially in the time, I love that you're launching it in fall, because that just eases you right into your New Year's resolution. And everybody likes to set an intention for the new year. But I'm always suggesting, don't wait for a new year to change the course and direction of your life.
I'm so glad you said
change
that.
It now.
Yeah, change it. You can change it on, September, whatever today is, 14. You don't have to wait till January 1st. That's definitely something I'm going to get into. So the fall bundle is going to cover September, October, November. And then obviously the winter bundle will cover December, January, February, and so on. And like I said, each bundle will wrap itself around every season of the year, because there's always things to talk about, and there's, activities that you want to do. So one of the other pillars is nurture, which is more of like the soul food piece of it. So not like the actual food, but the soul food. So I have lists of, fun activities that the fall lends itself to that maybe we don't think about, tapping back in. I talk to a lot of women, and I'll say to them, what is it that you love to do? And I'll get so many blank stares back, which is crazy to me that people are so out of touch with what really lights them up.
Yeah.
So it's just a great way to check in with yourself and find out, remember the things that you love to do. So I have lists on that. I have favorite things for the fall. So just some, fun stuff like that might spark something for you there too. So I have favorite things. I have, all sorts of blogs and tips on, exercise in the fall, and tips on nutrition tips, which would go into the fuel. But there's the nurture. So that's the soul food piece. And then there's strengthen, and that's for the physical body. And I'm really excited about that. And that's where the workout tips and all that come into, and workouts. And I'm going to be throwing those into our private and exclusive Facebook community, so we can do those workouts together. So there's going to be workouts. There's just so much content and value in this baby of mine that I'm literally giving birth to next Wednesday, and just so excited about it. So you're going to find stuff for every aspect of your health and wellness from a holistic place, which is why it's so important to me, because you have to create your happiness, and you can create your happiness. And like I said, it might have taken me a really long time to figure that out on this journey that I have been on. But there's so much you can create. And sometimes you just need like a little nudge or a push or a spark. And then the accountability piece. I will be moderating that group, and we'll be checking in and giving bonus content and throwing extra recipes and how-to videos and all sorts of fun stuff in there. But like you said, what's the best part of a community is the community,
Yeah.
and leaning on each other and sharing and going through experiences together. It really, we're definitely better together
Well, the
than we
power
are
of
separate.
collective consciousness is the biggest thing. And, we each individually are contributing so much to our community. And when you know that the person next to you is working on themselves as much as you're
Mhm.
working on yourself, then you realize that, we're all in it together. So the ability we have to improve ourselves internally, to show up in the world as a better version of ourselves externally, to really be in a space where we are able to tap into our power, where we don't feel drained, we don't feel spent, we don't feel like we're investing
Mhm.
energy in something that's not serving us. Because anytime we feel like we don't have enough, we don't have the ability to show up and offer really the best version of ourselves to,
It's
whether
so
it's our
true.
friends, our lovers, our relatives, our community. And we really owe it to ourselves to spend a little time, being selfish, investing in what we need. And I feel like every aspect of this program is such a perfect way to really tune in and tap in to whatever area of your life needs a little improvement. So, giving yourself the space where you can identify what you need a little more of.
Mhm.
It gives you the opportunity to identify maybe, areas of your life where you might feel that there's weakness. Well, that gives you the opportunity to improve that. You can identify the areas of your life where you're strengthened and where you really feel like you have a handle on that part of your life, and then offer that wisdom to someone else. And
I love
there's
that.
nothing better to help to boost your own energy than to offer what you already know to somebody else who needs a little encouragement along the way as well. So having that community is huge. Having the awareness that you have somebody else who's supporting you in what you're doing. There's nothing that's going to help you along your journey faster than having that community energy and that support, and to have that, seasonally, to be able to have that shifted so that everything is customized and tailored to exactly what you need at that moment of life.
Mhm.
Huge.
Exactly. No, I'm super, super duper excited.
Yeah.
So the website's still getting its final tweaks and little changes. It should be going live any day now. So I'm going to keep everybody posted about that. But in the
Perfect.
meantime, you can go to my website. For now, there's a little, I guess, stand in landing page. And there is a space for you to put your name and your email address so that you are going to be on the list to know exactly when everything is launching. It is starting next Wednesday. So we just need to
Perfect.
get this up and running so that everybody can
Countdown.
sign up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, never been so excited about anything that I've worked on, other than working individually with my clients, which I absolutely love to do and take it so seriously. But this, I
Yeah.
feel, is like my calling, and I feel that I can just reach so many more people doing it in this way. And it's just gonna be a fantastic community. I cannot wait.
Well, and the interactive component of it, I feel like is, such a big deal for people because you feel like, at least you can be in a space where you're active in what other people are doing, being in space where you're able to share what your own experience is and get and give advice back and forth is, we're all each other's best teacher. So everything that
Mhm.
we experience and what we create for ourselves and we offer that to the world, we know that, the experiences that we've had are valuable. And we each have the opportunity to offer so much value to the people that we touch that this is really, a perfect platform for that. So the collaboration of being able to identify not just your food, not just your fuel, not just your mental, not just your spiritual, not just your emotional, but having that all happen in the same space is just a magical package to offer. So keep your eyes open. Nikki Wellness taking over the world, changing everything. Little spoken word yoga dribbled in there. So you get a little bit of your meditation, your a little bit of your yoga, a little bit of your visualization, and certainly everything that the holistic package offering is so much value. Just
Oh, thank you for
yeah.
saying that. And if you are not familiar with Christine's voice when she leads these things, I am telling you, you're going to just want her to read you the dictionary, because it's like the most empowering experience
Oh, well, thank
and
you.
relaxing and grounding and, stress managing all at once. So
Yeah.
I'm like, just like I said, so
Thank
honored. You
you.
were like my number one person to reach out to when
Oh,
this program
such a
started to
blessing.
hatch in my mind. So yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
And we'll have brand new offerings every quarter. So you'll have something brand new for every season. So just keep your eye out because big things are
Big
coming.
thanks.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'll put some information. I'm not into these live things. I don't really know, but she'll tell me, and
She's
I'll
already
put a
into it.
little
You see,
link.
she's here. So she's already into it. It's
I'll put a
happening.
little link, but go to nikkeiwellness.com and just sign up there. That doesn't tie you to anything, just getting information, and then we'll be in touch very soon. And if you
Yeah.
have any questions, just reach out, DM me, DM Christine.
Perfect. Yeah.
Is there anything more you want to share about your own spoken word yoga as well?
Well, spoken word yoga is taking over the world. We're always, have yoga retreats, which at some point I'm going to drag her around somewhere around the
Yeah, we
world.
need to do a collaboration
Yes,
retreat.
definitely. Well, we have St. Lucia November. And this November I think is already sold out, but we have April 2022. It's over Easter weekend. So spoken word yoga retreat in St. Lucia, and then Egypt. We are setting intentions at the pyramids, November 11th, 2022. So it'll be 11/11/22.
That one I'm going to go on.
Yes. Oh, Egypt is magic. I just got back last week, so I'm super excited to share
She's
everything that Egypt has to offer. Nile River cruise, pyramids, beautiful time at a resort in the Red Sea for the last couple of days.
Oh
We
my
have a
God.
really amazing package scheduled for that. There's always something going on. So the beautiful part is we have the Mindful Moments Journal. Everything at spokenwordyoga.com is perfectly geared for your mental shift. Free ebook, 10 tips for a positive mental shift on spoken word yoga.
Oh, perfect.
Jump on that. And
it's a perfect marriage.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
It's a perfect marriage.
Little internal and external health and wellness, holistic wellness, all coming at you.
In the Zen
all
Den.
in one space. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, yes. It's just pure magic. Thank you so much for joining us. Zen Den every Tuesday. Magic. Nikki Wellness and her holistic package is going to be up and running Wednesday, September 22nd. Put it on your calendar, countdown.
Put it on your calendar.
Yes, and just get ready for the magic to take you through this season, fall launch. Dun, dun, dun.
All right, everyone. Thank you.
Blessings
and
and blessings and blessings. Namaste. Love. Love, love, love.